or WhatsApp 287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Doctor in the House brought to you the compliments of La Place Salaison, Tapion Hospital, Jeannot Cooperative Credit Union, and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we are here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335 or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
Say hello to Jeannot Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Jeannot. You can use your Jeannot Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay. Jeannot, we can no mountains for you. Powered by First National Bank.
At Tapio Hospital, caring and competent obstetric consultants who will see you safely from prenatal care through delivery with a team of excellent pediatric and anesthetic support. Tapio Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
It's delicious.
La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort and Surage.
It's delicious.
It's now time for Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia, hosted by Dr. Leonard Surage. Dr. Surage, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Andre. Good evening, listeners, and those who are following this program. You are here listening to Doctor in the House today, Tuesday, 18th of August, 2026. And today I have with me two ladies who are intimately connected to hearing aid and hearing testing and hearing evaluation. So today's topic will be primarily about hearing aid, to demystify or remove the mystery out of hearing aids and when it is used, and generally to give you a little more information about that technology. And I have with me in studio two ladies. First of all, we have Miss Leila Barbarani, who is St. Lucian trained audiologist in Canada. She resides in Canada, but runs a audiological and hearing aid service there. So she has lots of experience in that area. This is not the first time she's coming here. This is about the third time, and to share with us her knowledge on hearing aid, hearing testing, and that kind of thing. And also I have with me, further to my right, is Mrs. Pauline Eudoxie, who has been in the hearing aid business and evaluation of hearing loss for at least 20 years. And she runs a service at Tapion Hospital. So these two ladies, welcome to the program, and let us see to what extent we can share our knowledge with the community in terms of hearing aid, a technology that is now growing. And because there is a time when you thought hearing aid is only for old people, and but this is not so. All classes of people, all level of hearing loss do use hearing aid. First of all, I would say that what is a hearing aid? It's a device that is put into the air, whether outside of the air or in the air or in the canal, and there are different grades or different types of hearing aid. Not all are the same. And this device has 4 components to it. It has a receiver that will accept the sound or the microphone. It also has a processor, which is a chip, and that processor will take the information it receives outside, process it, and afterwards amplify it so that the canal itself can receive a higher level of sound, which can be transmitted by the nerve to the brain, and the brain can now perceive what you say or accept what you say. So that's basically how the hearing aid operates. And so we have been using hearing aid for quite a while. Of recent times, the hearing aid initially was more like an amplifier, but the science has improved tremendously, and now the hearing aid are programmable hearing aids now. This means that for the hearing aid to work maximally or to your best advantage, the hearing aid must be in keeping or must be tuned to the hearing loss of that person. So first of all, the person would need a hearing test. That hearing test will say what your hearing loss is at different frequency, because there are different tones, what we call frequency. And as a result, the hearing aid will now be programmed to accommodate or to work with your level of hearing loss. So where the hearing loss is small, then the amplification or the loudness is less. And where you're losing more hearing, then it will amplify it higher. So it has a differential way of picking up each frequency and actually begin to make you hear better. So there are different types of hearing aid. Maybe you can tell us a few. I know there's a behind the ear, because everybody believes a hearing aid is behind the ear, it's unsightly, and most of the time that's why people don't wear it.
Yeah. So just to go back a little bit on, so hearing aids have come such a long way. In the back about 20 years ago, it used to be analog, where you'd have to take a screwdriver and change the frequency, whether it's low frequency, Pauline, you remember that, right? And then mid and high frequency. And now it's all digital signal processing. So just as you were mentioning, Dr. Surage, where it's all computer coded information, and the hearing aid can actually recognize if there's a speech input based on the wave that comes through versus background noise, and amplify or increase more that speech output to give that patient more clarity, understanding, versus if it's background noise, try and cancel it. So hearing aids are actually very much digital now and can connect they have Bluetooth in them, so they can connect to your phone, listen to music, also hear what others are saying. There are different styles of hearing aids, and it really depends on the degree of hearing loss that you have, whether how severe your hearing loss is. So if you have more of a mild hearing loss, then maybe a smaller hearing aid would suffice, a mild to moderate hearing loss. But if you have a severe hearing loss, then we need a bigger hearing aid to house or to accommodate a bigger chip, like a bigger engine in a car to rev it up to go. You need a bigger chip so that there's more maximum output that the hearing aid can give, so that at the end of the day you can benefit from the hearing aid versus just having a plug in your ear if it's only going to give you what can accommodate for mild hearing loss when your hearing loss is at the bottom of the scale, more severe. So there are other styles that go behind your ear. There are the ones that are more custom made in the ear. So there's the half shells, the full shells, Pauline, completely in the canal. And it really depends. The first step would be to have a baseline hearing test. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is one type is behind the ear called the BE.
BTE.
BTE.
Yes.
Right. And the one inside the ear So there is one inside the ear, another one inside the canal.
Yes. So
There is the
go ahead.
custom made and behind the ear. So with the custom made, we have the ITE that is in the canal, the ITC in the
canal.
the ITE
is
in the ear, and we've got the CIC which is completely in the canal.
So
and
that's the one you don't see.
That's the one you don't
Yeah.
see. And
So-
there's even one a little bit smaller than that which you don't see at all. Yeah.
But the bigger one, the smaller the hearing aid is, the more it accommodates smaller hearing losses.
Yes.
Lower degree, yes,
Yeah.
milder hearing loss.
Yes.
So I think what you're talking about, there's the behind the ear and the receiver in the canal,
Right.
which also looks like behind the ear. So part of it goes behind the ear, and part of it is the receiver, as you said, one of the components of the hearing aid
Yeah.
that sits into the ear. And they made that about 2008, so 20 or 18 years ago, where to make it more cosmetically appealing, so it's one with a thin wire that goes into your
Yeah.
ear, versus the behind the ear had more of a thicker tube, and you see it more. But those hearing aids with the thicker tube are better for those patients with like a severe to profound hearing loss.
Yes.
They need the power, and they need the bigger hearing aid
Right.
to give them that power.
So it is not a matter of, and I have seen it with patients that they feel that they don't really want people to see the hearing aid. So they feel that whatever your hearing loss, a hearing aid that you cannot see will work, but it doesn't. So when we advise them, because hearing aids are expensive,
Yes.
and when you advise them which one is best for them, they tend to argue with you, saying that, oh, I prefer that one, I don't want to see, I don't want people to see. Yeah, but you have to, there's a trade-off in terms of how well it works for you. Most time it's not the hearing aid that's at fault, it is the use to which it is put and the care of it that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. So
So what I think is that we need to understand that not all the hearing aid does all the things at the same time. And you mentioned custom hearing aid, and I think that it is those that you take an impression, and
That's
so
right.
that hearing aid is custom made for your ear.
That's right.
And that has a little issue with it, because it's not the kind of hearing aid you can come in the office, get a hearing aid, and walk out with it. You have to have a mold.
That's right.
and
So
then
maybe-
you
Maybe you can
Yes.
tell us a bit about the mold, because I've seen you do it many times.
Okay. For the mold, we have what we call impression material, and we use that to make a mold for the air that it can be sent out to, well, we work with Bonafont Canada, so it's sent out to them. That would take about 6 weeks to 7 weeks
So it's
before it
something like
returns to send.
plasticine. It's something like plasticine,
Right,
or
the
that
dough.
you put it in the air.
Yeah.
It takes the form of the air and it
Yes.
hardens in that form.
Right.
So that thing, if you get a hearing aid that's exactly like it, you can put the hearing aid inside
That's
of it.
right.
The shell.
The shell, right.
and it hardens just in 5 minutes in office, and then that way when it comes back, it's custom made. So it will, if it's made for John's ear, it cannot go into
To
Tim's
anybody-
ear,
right.
because it's molded to their ear, just like anything else. If we ever, like if someone needed dentures or anything like custom made orthotics, it's made for your feet. So
Mhm.
There's always a measurement for glasses also.
yes, yes. And that's where really and truly a baseline or universal hearing test is so important, to at least have a measurement of what your hearing is, and then to figure out, do I need hearing aids? Because even with a mild hearing loss, moderate hearing loss, there's a lot of studies showing if you don't stimulate that part of the brain, there can be memory loss or cognitive decline. So it's so important to just start with a baseline hearing test.
Yeah. Can you expand on that one a little bit for me? So when the air receives the sound, that sound goes to the brain and it stimulates the brain
Yes.
so that the brain can remain active and intelligent,
Alive, yes.
cognitive thing.
Yes.
So the absence of this stimulation can weaken the brain and can make it less reactive, less spontaneous. And that is the same thing apply to dementia. The same way, if you don't hear, if you don't receive sound, your dementia may progress a little faster than if you were getting all the stimulation, visual. And because what you have to understand is that when the sound, or when the stimulus, we call it, whether it is visual or auditory, it goes through a series of nerves to the brain, and it stimulates the brain nerves, and the brain nerves have a lot of little connection, and these make connection with others like a network. It is this network that assists you with memory, with intelligence, and that kind of thing. So people who are super intelligent, they have much more network
Right, synapses.
Synapses than those who didn't. And you can upgrade and lower down the synapses, etc., or the function of it by stimulation. And so if you practice a lot, stimulate the nerves, you get better and better. And if you quiet it down, it shrivel, gets smaller, less active. So that happened to all of the entire nervous system. So back to the hearing aid. So what advantage? It is true, the hearing aid is not just an amplifier, because with age or with hearing loss, especially with aging population, the sound that you hear, you may not hear all the syllables. So if the number of nerves in one ear has been reduced by about, say, 40%, it means that 40% of the nerves are not working so well. So what it does, it prevents you from analyzing certain sound. You may not hear all the syllables that's being said, and as a result, you hear but you don't understand. And you can hear the people say, "I'm hearing you, but I wish you could speak clearer." It is not you that not speaking clearer. It's because as your hearing goes, you don't have enough nerves to be able to separate all the different sources and begin to ignore some. Sometimes the background noise interferes with what you are hearing. And many a times people walking in the street, in town, talking to each other, and half of the time the person who have hearing loss will not hear. You hear them talk, but you cannot understand what they are saying. And that is where the processing part of the hearing aid comes useful, because it can now separate background noise from real sound, separate music from speech. And what it needs to magnify or augment, it does it. And what it needs to play down, it plays it down. And that is the extent to which the hearing aid has evolved, as Lila was saying. So what problems, in servicing hearing aid, what problem you see most of the time when people come and tell you, "Oh, my hearing aid is not working," or is whistling? What issues you have with that?
Okay, for me, at the office, when people come in, first thing, my hearing aid is not working. And there are many factors. You've got the plugged wax, you've got battery being low, and sometimes they're not sure how to put the battery. They may put the battery in wrong, and there are many other factors that comes with it.
Okay.
Yes, so just by taking the hearing aid, putting a new battery, nothing happens. I would just pull it out, check the wax guard. Even the filament sometimes is bad.
What's the filament? That little cord?
That little wire coming down into the air, that's the filament.
And they have to be
with
careful,
the mic.
because I have seen many times that little dome, the little plastic. You see, the hearing aid behind the ear has a little cord from the hearing aid into your ear, and has a little umbrella-looking thing called a dome, varying in size. So many times I have picked up domes inside, because they push it in, the dome stay in the air and causes discomfort. And it just feels different, but it is colorless, clear, you don't see it. So they've been to They would have gone to other services and look around. They didn't see anything. And when they get referred, you can see the little dome, colorless, see-through plastic. You take it out and they're back to normal. So it is not unusual to find these detaching and ending up.
Not unusual.
Yeah. Also earwax. If they have a buildup, sometimes we find patients who don't have a history of earwax buildup, and when they put a hearing aid in, as the wax is trying to get out of the ear canal naturally, it gets stuck with having a hearing piece in the ear, and so they need to just more frequently monitor that. Because if there's a wax in the ear, they just can't hear anything from the hearing aid if there's a blockage.
Okay. And of course, the proper use of the hearing aid is something that maybe we should discuss a bit, because people don't realize that if water gets in, it can damage it. And if the battery lifespan, if you have it on all the time, the battery obviously will not last so long if you keep it on overnight and so forth. And so I think it's important for people to know that the proper care of the hearing aid is important for it to extend its life and to extend the life of the battery.
As you mentioned overnight, are you allowed to sleep with the hearing aid?
It's best not to, but I've had patients who needed it because they just can't hear, and so they needed it for environmental awareness. And it's okay to do it, but you just don't want to do it long term, because the components inside can over time weaken. But it's best generally we tell our patients just wear it in the daytime. From the time they wake up in the morning, put it in their ear. Now it is an electronic device, so you don't want to go swimming with it. You don't want to take showers with it. You want to keep your ear dry and then put it on. If you are, like I have patients who are cyclists or they exercise a lot, even exercising, and if you tend to sweat a lot behind the ear, then I often say take your hearing aid out, leave it out. It does have a little bit of protective covering from water, but it's not recommended to go deep submerging in water.
Okay, so there's some that can withstand the water.
Some that can withstand, but it's best not to go deep, and especially
to submerge your head under
the water. Especially being here, where if anything happens to the hearing aid, you have to ship it back to North America. Then there's longer time you're waiting to get back your hearing device. So best to try and keep it as dry as possible.
That's right.
And there are little cases where you can keep it dry with
like a desiccant kit where it extracts some of the moisture. Do you okay. Or even just, if it happens to be wet, some of my patients, they put it in dried rice overnight, uncooked.
That works too.
And that helps to extract.
How does that rice thing work?
It's sort of the idea of it being a drying agent. You can also try a little blow dryer. You can try a little blow dryer as well, but not making it too hot, because you don't want to melt. It is a hard plastic, the hearing aid.
How about put it in the fridge? The fridge is a drying agent, because when you put your bread in the fridge, it hardens, it dries.
I don't know about that, Doc.
Not advisable at all.
Not advisable. Yeah, the fridge is a desiccating agent.
If my hearing is good, and I decide to try on a hearing aid, what happens? That's another funny one.
So there are patients who have normal hearing, and we get them a hearing aid, but they're more in a learning environment like children, where they have a central auditory processing disorder or attention focus, like they cannot focus because there's so much competing noise behind them. So we set the hearing aid to have as if they have a mild hearing loss. So it's just a little bit a little bit more louder, so that they can hear clearer. But we wouldn't recommend, and we're not allowed in Canada to ever fit a hearing aid if someone has no hearing loss. And everything would just be much louder for you. And
really?
You would be, if I had to set it as if you had a severe hearing loss, but you have normal, it's just, you're not going to want to wear it.
I asked that because I was speaking with a gentleman one time who had a hearing aid. He had it on. and he was having difficulty hearing what I was saying to him, and I was close to him,
Yes.
really close.
Yeah.
So that's why I wondered about that, because I think we get the impression as though once you have the hearing aid, it's almost as good as your original ear.
Right.
So what's the what's the
What's
truth?
the story there?
Yes, sir. So it does take, we know all about auditory rehabilitation, auditory stimulation. It's not, I tell my patients, it's not like getting glasses and you go into a room and everything's so much brighter and clearer. It can take weeks and months for your brain to readjust to the sounds, because hearing loss is so gradual. It can take, you lose hearing over years, right? And there's a lot of resistance to getting a hearing aid or coming through our doors for a hearing test first, because there's a lot of stigma with hearing loss. And so oftentimes, you basically, you need to keep wearing your hearing aids to keep that brain alive. And it depends how everything is set up according to the frequency or the tone that you need. Anything you want to
Yes, some patients would come in and say to me, look, I don't want to keep this thing in my ear. And I would tell them, no, you have to use the hearing aid constantly, because this is what's going to help you. You're not going to get that clear hearing you had, that 100% hearing before. So I always tell them, like, it's like buying a fridge too. The fridge have a lifespan, and the hearing aid also have a lifespan. So in wearing a hearing aid, the more you wear the hearing aid, you get accustomed to it, and you get accustomed to that noise the fridge is making also, because it's always humming in the house. Now, when you have that hearing aid on, if you take it out, then what are you telling yourself?
Any reason given as to why they wouldn't want to wear it, especially knowing that they need to wear it?
Especially the elderly people. I don't want it, but the children are the ones forcing them to. So they don't want to wear it.
Wow.
So you try and speak to them, coax them a little, and try them, just put it on, see how it goes. Eventually, you're going to like your hearing aid. And there are some of them who's wearing it right now, and almost every month they're at my office. Yeah.
Because okay, what to understand about hearing loss, gradual hearing loss, is so gradual you don't know it's happening to you.
Right.
It's
That's
like quicksand. You're in it and you're sinking and don't know until you try to come out.
Yeah.
And so with the hearing aid, without the hearing aid, you gradually find that in background noise, where there is noise, TV is playing, somebody is talking, you don't quite understand what they're saying. You hear them, but you can't quite understand. So therefore, in normal conversation, say you have a party or you have friends visiting, you say to many things you don't even know what.
That's right.
And as a result, you cannot participate much, because if you were to, and say you are in a meeting, and then people are talking, etc., and a question is posed at the meeting, it will be very embarrassing to know that everybody is answering, but you don't know what the question was. And so these things prompt people not to interact. They become antisocial. They stay on their own. Like Paulina was saying regarding the older patients, they prefer to remain in their silence because they are comfortable there than trying something to find that they don't like it. And so, but their children is different, because their children appreciate the communication.
That's right.
So the older people are quite happy not to talk, but children will also want to communicate with their parent, and they are the one pushing for them to communicate.
But there's a link with the longer you wait, the harder it is for your brain to readjust to the sound. So that's why it is best to try and get your hearing aids as soon as early on. Early treatment is better than later. We all know that. The more successful. Also, your brain, you need to retrain your brain to focus less on unwanted sounds like that fridge noise or the ticking in your car, and focus on more the conversations that you're having with your loved ones. So it is so very important that the elderly who come, when someone comes to my office and they're 90 years old for hearing aids, I have a lot of resistance trying to fit them, because I know they're not going to be as successful in wearing the hearing aid versus if they came at 80 years old, even just 10 years ago. But because hearing loss can take sometimes patients 30 years or more to get to our office. It's gradual. They learn to not pay attention to certain sounds and just forget about it. And when they hear it, it may be annoying or noise to them. And that's why there's sometimes rejection with the hearing aid, that all this sound is overwhelming for their brain that they haven't heard in 20, 30 years. So the longer you wait, it becomes harder for your brain. It's all about brain hearing and auditory deprivation. Like any muscle in your body, if you don't use it, atrophy happens. It deadens or it weakens. So you have to use it, otherwise you lose it.
By the way, are you supposed to wear one, or you need for both?
It depends on your hearing loss, going back to having a baseline hearing test. But if you have bilateral or hearing loss in both ears, then it is so important to have two hearing aids. Now, if you can only afford one, then oftentimes research suggests to get it for the poorer ear, the ear that's a little bit less than the better ear. But better for sound localization. So we have two ears for a reason, normal hearing, and it's to locate where sound is coming from and understand speech and background noise. And if we just have to plug up one, then the other ear overcompensates, and it becomes hard to dissect that information, especially in background noise, if we only have one hearing aid when we really need two.
And the direction of sound.
Direction of sound, absolutely.
Okay, we'll have to take a little break. But when we come back, I want to ask, if you don't mind, whether hearing loss is related to hereditary, right? Age, or are there some other factors that would affect one's hearing? When we come back, okay? So this is Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia with Dr. Leonard Surage. The program is brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison, Tapio Hospital, Jeannot Cooperative Credit Union, and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we're here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335, or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
Say hello to Jeannot Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Jeannot. You can use your Jeannot Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay. Powered by First National Bank.
Tapio Hospital Radiology Department offers 24-hour service. We provide you with X-ray, CT scans, and ultrasound imaging using the most modern equipment that produces the best images for your medical attention. Call the Radiology Unit at 459-2201. Tapio Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
It's delicious.
La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Rosalie, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
Welcome back to Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia. Dr. Surage, it's back to you.
Thank you again, Andre, and thank you, listeners, for staying on. At this point in the program, I would like to invite you all to ask a question or contribute or correct us if we think we're wrong, whatever it is, but we would like to hear from you. on the landline 572-9710 or the WhatsApp 287-0971. So you just give us a shout to share some of your experiences with us.
Let me just repeat the numbers. The fixed line is 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Just before we took the break, I was asking any of you,
what are the causes of hearing loss?
Yes, is it something that you inherit from your parents, or
there's a genetic component to it. Some people whose parents have hearing loss may transfer some of that, the potential for hearing loss. Also, more importantly, environment. You may find, even before I get to environment, there may be some people who they don't have a genetic problem, but they are born with a deformity, and the number of nerves that the ears have are not the exact number. And for example, the ear may have several thousand nerves, and it has 2.5 tons. What you call the cochlea is where the nerves are located. They're about 2.5 tons. Some people may be born with 1 ton, and so some of the frequencies suffer, because if you can imagine, you have a snail. You see a snail with a 2.5 tons. If you were to straighten that into a long stretch, supposing you could straighten it, the nerves for hearing occupy from one end to the next end different frequencies. So different tones hit different part of the nerve and make you hear.
Yes, so from low frequency to high frequency or mid frequencies. But I think I want to also add that a virus, if a baby is born, even just passing through the mother's womb, if that baby gets rubella, they can have hearing loss. Meningitis can also be. So there are children, like at birth or even after very young, where they can have, or CMV, cytomegalovirus, where that can contribute towards or affect and cause hearing loss. So early stimulation is detection is, thank you, Dr. Surage, is so important. So it can be genetics, it can be lifestyle. We live in a noisy environment globally, but even just here, just walking through in St. Lucia, it's just so loud. And so we're finding, even in North America, you don't have to be 65 to have hearing loss now. We're seeing hearing loss in the late 30s or early 40-year-olds because of the concerts that they do up there, noise pollution. And once you have noise-induced hearing loss, it's permanent. There's no recovery. And so hearing aids are what you need to basically hear a little better. But it's so important to teach about protecting your hearing in different environments and making sure it's all about intensity and duration. The longer you're in that environment, be in it for where it's less noisy or not as loud, so that your rate of getting a hearing loss is less if you're in it at a shorter time.
I have a follow-up question, but we have a caller.
Yes.
You can just use the headphones if you don't mind. Yes.
Hello.
Hey, good evening, Andre. Good evening, Doc.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to the two ladies.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, thanks for accepting my call.
All right.
You're welcome.
Okay, Doc, I have a question for you first.
Okay, sure. Fire.
Specialist.
What's that?
As an specialist, I mean, you can actually operate in the air, like an operation like in the air?
Yeah. You can operate on the drum. You can operate on the 3 little bones. You can reconstruct them. You can remove disease in the middle air. Yeah, all that kind of, even like when they have fluid in the air, you can make a small cut and drain out the fluid, because many children have problem with large adenoids, snoring, glue in the middle air, and that's how you remove it.
Now, to the two ladies about hearing aid. before they had hearing aid like it has an adjustment like a volume adjuster. You can either bring up the volume or bring it down. They don't do that anymore?
Yes.
That's the analogs.
Oh, but no, with the newer ones, they do have a little button at the back that you can increase or reduce the volume. And because they're Bluetooth, some of the newer hearing aids, you can actually download an app on your phone and be very discreet about it and up and down the volume if you need, using the app that you download on that hearing aid.
Without touching your ear.
Without touching your ear, you can just pretend like you're on your phone and turn up and down the volume or mute it. But if you have a very old hearing aid, then sometimes they have a volume control, but it's more in a wheel.
That's right.
Right, Pauline? Like a wheel. But otherwise, most hearing aids do have an up and down volume on them.
And you can put, okay, and it can go on your phone if you want to.
Yeah, making sure that it is a newer, like at least 15 years old, and they have Bluetooth in them, or 10 years.
Because the reason why I ask this question, if I have someone has a hearing aid, and he or she is in a crowd with noise, they can bring it down where they don't have much noise coming in the air.
In some
Or
instances.
or in a noisy area.
Yeah, but there's a range so that you can turn it down. You can only turn it down maybe 3 or 4 steps down and 3 or 4 steps up. You can't really, it's not going to completely turn it down unless if you have the app, and then you can mute the hearing aid so that it silences.
That's the word I was looking for, the mute. So it can be muted.
It can be muted,
okay.
especially with the app, or you just take it off your ear if you don't have it connected to the app, right, Pauline?
Yes.
So when it is muted,
okay, thank you.
don't
Okay,
hear from.
thank you very much. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Yes, good night.
Yeah. So when it is muted, I wish he had stayed on because
It's
that's really
dead.
good.
It's like dead in his ear.
Yeah. So in other words, that the hearing aid is not receiving sound.
It's not receiving
Right.
sound.
But I thought he meant, how can you protect from the noise in the environment by adjusting your hearing aid?
So some of the apps as well, you can, in the app, they have like noise reduction in them, and you can lower some of
That's background noise.
noise. There's different settings in the app where if you're in crowd, you can switch to it in crowd from automatic.
Okay.
And then it will just reduce some of the background noise, depending on
Okay.
the hearing
Yeah.
aid.
And that's what the processor does.
Well, yeah, but the Bluetooth, because the hearing aids are Bluetooth, it can connect to your to your phone
Because
as long as Bluetooth
the
is
Bluetooth-
turned on.
The Bluetooth will instruct the hearing aid what to do.
Yeah, so there's a series of steps of how to connect the hearing aids to your phone. Connect it first and then download an app which is free based on the manufacturer, the type hearing aid that you're wearing.
Okay.
We have another call.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Hello, good evening, Dr.
Good evening.
Nelson Andre.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, let's hear
I
you.
tuned in late today.
What's that?
I tuned in late today.
Oh, okay,
But
tuned in
I was
late.
speaking about, yes.
We're talking about hearing aid. The first part, I was talking about what the hearing aid does and so forth, and how it functions. And now the two ladies are with me, and they are involved in fitting hearing aid and select people who need hearing aid and assist them with it.
Okay, but I was going to ask a question about something else.
But you can go ahead.
Okay. My sister just gifted my son with a set of headphones. Is it safe for him to use? He's 4 years old. Is it safe for him to use?
Good
I'll
question.
listen over there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. We'll answer that.
It's a good question.
I think the problem, I would say it's not safe to use, is that you cannot guarantee how loud he's going to keep it in his ear. And if it's very loud, it can damage the ear. So I think for the safety, is unless you can limit the volume, they should be very hesitant to let him use it without checking how loud he has it. Because that can be a problem. A young set of ears, 4-year-old, unless the child has a hearing issue that requires making the sound louder, and that's not the way you do it, not through a headphone, I think that is not a good practice.
Yeah, better to use speakers, like from your phone if you have to, or I would not, as a mom to mom, put headphones on a 4-year-old, and you're also training them to be dependent on it. And the other thing is you want to make sure that you don't restrict the time. So maybe 10 minutes a day if you had to, but best practice would be not to let the child listen to the headphones, because we don't know, as doctor said, how loud it is.
Now Leila, you spoke about noise. There's a lot of noise, right? And we have a lot in St. Lucia, right?
We do.
So have the experts been able to pinpoint which of those noises probably contribute the most to hearing loss, especially in younger people? Have they been able to, pinpoint maybe it's the motorcycles, for example, revving? That could be a possibility. The volume of the music, right? How many decibels? Because, for example, when I go out because I play at parties and so on,
yes.
And sometimes I'm shocked as to the level, the levels these things. To me, it's like it affects me, it bothers me, but it doesn't seem to bother, my comrades. Right. So is there anything in particular that we should be wary of when it comes to this issue of noise pollution?
So we'll use the example from Ontario in Canada. They have regulations in the work that 85 decibels is the level that one should be exposed for 8 hours a day. Every 5 decibel, so 90 decibels, you should be half the time, 4 hours. 95 decibels, 2 hours a day. So using something like motorcycle or, as you said, loud music, figuring out if it is at 100 decibels, that instrument, then you should only be using it for 1 hour a day. If that equipment is at 105 decibels, then 30 minutes a day. So I would use the Ontario regulations as your length of time. So something like a motorcycle can go up to 130 decibels or so. Your ears should never be exposed to that. And if it is, as I'm walking down the road, I plug my ears or just a minute or so. And even in that loud environment, Andre, you can have a temporary threshold shift, being that your hearing you can have some temporary hearing loss from that loud instant noise exposure. So, and you may get ringing in the ears within 24 to 48 hours after, and hopefully it will go away. But for some people, it stays on for life, that ringing. So as best as you can, when you're in an unpredictable environment, like you're outside and a motorcycle passes and revs up, then try and protect your ears or go away from that environment. So really and truly, it depends on the instrument. Just use it as every 5 decibel you increase half the time. From 85 decibels, it's 8 hours, 90 decibels. So something like instruments, usually airplanes, instruments, they tend to be 110, 120, 130. No ears really should be exposed for too long.
Okay.
Yes.
But the thing is, how do you measure the sound? How do you know if it's 85 or 95? How do you know?
So there are some apps, sound SPL,
sound
pressure, sound level meters. Thank you. Sound SLM, sound level meters. But I find for some of them they don't measure past 90 decibels. They say too loud or 95 decibels. We have an instrument to measure it, but that's not what you would use. So the best would be look at an app and see how loud would it go to measure. And if it's 100 decibels, then you should only be in that environment for 2 hours. 1 to 2 hours.
Measure the decibel.
Yes. I see that.
Yes.
Okay, you have another call?
Okay.
I just gave it the sound level meter.
Yes, exactly. But sometimes it doesn't go past 80 and 85 decibels.
Yeah, this one is 120.
Okay.
Yeah, call please.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome back.
Yeah. I'm back again. Yeah. Look.
Yes, let's hear you.
Question. Yeah. I have a question. I'm 62 years old. And I can say I live by myself. 99% of the time I live by myself. I sleep by myself. Okay? Now, you there?
I'm listening, all ears. You have 8 ears listening to you.
Yeah, I 99% I live by myself. If I decide, look, between 8 o'clock, let's say to 3, 4 in the morning, I don't really need my ears. I don't use my ears. Should I cover it or just a kind of way so that I can protect it by doing that? Can that happen?
There will be no need, unless you don't want insects to go in your ears or any other. There's no need to block your ears in the night for things not to happen. I don't know if you're talking about environment.
And block how do you understand what he's asking in terms of when you say blocking? What do you mean? The cotton, some cotton or something like that in there?
Yeah.
Or if you're living in a noisy place, then maybe you want to put some wall hangings to absorb the noise and maybe put some earplugs. But go ahead.
Because I figure in the night when I sleep in, I don't need to hear anything. I don't need my ears. So I'm trying. If I block it, I can save it. It can be saved a little longer.
But okay, let me. Okay, what you were saying is, if you are speaking to somebody, you're sitting at a table opposite each other and you're talking. The loudness with which you talk is about 60 decibels. So you have an idea what 85 decibel is. So what they are saying is that you should not be exposed to more than 85 decibels for 8 hours straight.
So if you live by the road and there's a lot of noise, traffic noise, then maybe you want to consider protecting your hearing, or like I said, put some material in your house to absorb some of the sound. Otherwise, keep your ears open so you can have that environmental awareness that if there's a siren coming, you can hear it. If there's a, you need your ears to help you. Like, I wouldn't plug it. So.
Okay,
because so you're not asking about somebody in a loud noise situation. You're sleeping in your room.
Yeah.
There is not unless it is like in excess of 60, in excess of 80. It's not really a big problem.
Right.
The statistics are showing. What's that?
While sleeping to me, I don't need my ears. I mean, I don't to protect.
So you can afford to block it.
Yeah.
So, but if an emergency occurs, say one of your
a knock on the door, your children
or the water cistern burst, and water is splashing.
Yeah, when I sleep in dock, I sleep to the max. I don't try to hear anything.
So you don't need anything to block your air while you are sleeping.
So protect your hearing because you sound like you have good hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let me just give the numbers again quickly. The fixed line is 572-9710. 572-9710. That's the fixed line. Or the WhatsApp platform, it is 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. This is Doctor in the House, Dr. Leonard Surage.
Yeah, let me make a little distinction here. And the difference between hearing loss when you are exposed to a particular sound. That particular sound, say, I give you an example. Say a weed eater. Somebody is weed whacking all the time. And the noise is a little above 85. So if you're exposed to that day after day, week after week, month after month, it may begin to affect your hearing. But it will affect it in the frequency or the tone in which the machine is running. So you may not have a hearing loss across the board.
Right. And you tend to have more noise-induced hearing loss, being more in the high frequency.
Right.
Because when Doc said that you unroll that cochlea, that it's more at the entrance where those high frequencies are, and they get the most impact, bang, 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 every day.
At 4K, 4,000 hertz.
3,000, 4,000, 6,000.
Especially with people working in noise in the factories.
Lucilec, etc., right?
So, Leila, have you ever had anybody who was open enough to tell you what life is like for them having hearing issues, hearing loss? Have they ever explained to you what life is like to them? Anybody ever said, hey, this is what I go through on a daily basis. I have to struggle with this, struggle with that, right? Because I think maybe some of us tend to think as though it's no big deal.
No.
I'll just get a hearing aid anyway, that kind of thing.
So where I work, when we see someone and we fit them with a hearing aid, we don't just say goodbye. We see them about 3-4 weeks later to see how they're doing and to see if any adjustments, review any cleaning. And then that's where they tell us, I don't put it on in the morning, what their struggles are, how can we make it better? In terms of, is it more that it needs to be clearer? Is the hearing aid too sharp? Make the adjustments, because it's all digital. We have the program on a computer and we adjust the hearing aids.
That's good. But I was speaking more about if they shared their experiences with you as to what life is like for them being unable to hear properly. Do they say, when my children speak to me, I can't hear what they're saying?
Sure.
If I go to the supermarket, I'm confused. Do they share those stories?
They do. Or like if they had a wedding, which tends to be more in the summertime, like they do share those stories that they hear so many people talking, but they don't understand in meetings, etc. Right. They do share those struggles, and we show them after the test why they may have those struggles. But absolutely, they get, it's a relationship that you're building with patients who have hearing loss and need hearing aids, because it's not just see you later, but come back and tell me what's going on. But even before getting hearing aids, we always ask we have an intake question. Do you have difficulty hearing the television? Do people appear to mumble to you? Do you hear better adults' voices over children's voices? Because oftentimes children have a high pitch to their voice, they don't hear very well. And then we listen to what other situations, like at church is the biggest thing. I can't hear what the pastor is saying. I can't hear, like my children, they're talking in another room, or the wife, she's in another room. But then they often joke, or maybe I want to hear her.
Do they speak about having to repeat and say, what did you say?
Yes, there's a lot of I'm not sure what they're saying, and having to ask to say again what's being said. Absolutely. And then they also talk about, I can't be bothered. And then we find out that they used to maybe every week go play dominoes or cards or whatever, and now they're not going, or they're going once a month because they just don't hear from those situations. So they slowly, there's a social health is affected because they start to withdraw from this situation. I can't be bothered. Oftentimes they'll say, I don't go to church anymore because I just don't hear the minister. They talk too soft. They blame it on the person who's talking, but really it is them that are not hearing.
You spoke about a 95-year-old earlier. Does hearing loss have anything to do with age? The older you get,
the older you get, we do see. So age, absolutely, genetics and lifestyle, and there could be some more hearing loss as they get older. And that's why it's important. If you know you have hearing loss, at least monitor it every 1 to 2 years.
But can you go through life up to 95 plus and not have a hearing problem? Is that possible?
It is.
Yeah. Sometimes we see just a mild hearing loss, depending how, and it's genetic as well. So yes, very rarely, but like I said, now globally we have a noise pollution problem. So every country has a lot of noise that we're not seeing that as much as maybe 15, 20 years ago or so.
Yes.
But yes, you can go through. I've had persons who work in factories, normal hearing, because they wore ear protection in their ears. So you can definitely go through life with having minimal hearing loss.
Okay.
And one other thing to realize that some of the patients would tell you, man, I was at the meeting and I suspect I'm not hearing properly, because they would give a joke or they would ask something and everybody is laughing and I don't have a clue what going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And others will say that the young people don't speak clearly anymore. And so you find they hit at the young people. But they can get aggressive too. the frustration of not hearing can make them very short-tempered.
Yeah.
But Leila just said that they blame others.
They do blame others and feel that it's them that are speaking too fast, which some of them do, but also if you had more normal hearing, you'd be able to pick up much better.
But what is very important from the discussion we had so far is early signs of picking up the hearing loss. So I think people should be doing annual hearing tests more as a screening more often than we do.
Absolutely.
You hardly find somebody in the same way they'll do a blood test. They'll check their eyes every year. You check the dentist. You hardly hear them come in. I want to check my ears to see how I stand, because they feel that once I'm hearing you, I'm okay. But many a times there's a lot that they miss out on. And the second thing I want to say is that the people who wear the headphones, this is a habit that has serious consequences, because you cannot tell how loud they have it, for how long they have it. And so we have a little time bomb that's going to happen.
Yes.
Which we have not addressed that issue at all.
You know, Dr. Surage, I was just thinking about, we have a headphone control knob right here. And if you notice where I have it, it's almost at 0. That's for me. There have been people here who have had this thing full blast. Okay? All the way. I couldn't take it. That's for sure. And I've been doing this thing for close to over 50 years.
Wow.
And I mean, now you see where I have it, Dr. Surage?
Almost 0.
Almost 0.
That's good.
And there have been people in here, I've seen them already. The thing goes all the way up.
Yeah.
Because
Full blast, as they
what's
say.
important is that if you bring it higher, it may be a bit uncomfortable, but your air accommodates. And you put it higher again, it accommodates, just like going in a room with loud noise, but at the expense of damaging your air.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're seeing, like I said, younger and younger people with hearing loss, and don't wait till you're 60. Even I tell my patients at 40 years old, get tested, and then you can monitor, and if you're normal, check again in 5 years. You don't have to do it annually, but if you have hearing loss, you need to check it more closer.
Because if you found to be having hearing loss now, you don't know how long it started. You do not know how long it has been like that. So you need to have a follow-up, say 4 months, 6 months, to see the pattern that's developing.
Yeah.
To know whether you've been exposed too much to loud noise.
I'd say even a year. A year is fine. If you know you have hearing loss, you can test a year, because we don't see as much change. It's usually 3-4 years we see some change, but definitely at least a year.
I have 2 patients with TTS, temporary threshold shift.
Okay, in that
and these
case,
people, every 2 months I do the test to see if they're going to recover from the hearing.
I think I was just more talking permanent hearing loss.
Yeah. So, once again, I wish to thank the listeners for participating and calling to the program. And I wish to thank your 2 ladies. Any particular thing you'd want to leave the public with before you leave, or are you okay?
Don't be afraid to look at hearing aids. It is a fashionable device nowadays, and it has Bluetooth. You can connect to other devices, and really and truly having a hearing test, which is done here in St. Lucia. You have Pauline does the test, so like that should be your first step.
And there's nothing wrong with wearing hearing aids. If you can wear glasses, you can wear hearing aids.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what I would like to say to end the topic is, from Leila's idea, is that the earlier you pick your hearing aid, your hearing test, the earlier you use hearing aid, the better it is for you in terms of being able to rehabilitate your hearing nerves, etc.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next week, same time.
Yes.
See you again.
Okay, so thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Leila. And thank you, Dr. Surage, for your service as always.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Okay, you've been listening to and viewing Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Dr. Leonard Surage. Brought to you the compliments of La Place Salaison, Tapion Hospital, Janou Cooperative Credit Union, and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we are here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335, or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
At Tapio Hospital, we operate a 24-hour emergency service for all your urgent healthcare needs. Our qualified medical specialist will be on hand to ensure that you receive the best of care. Call us at 459-2617. Tapio Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
Say hello to Jano Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Jano. You can use your Jano Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay. Jano, we can no mountains for you. Powered by First National Bank.
It's delicious.
La Plaza Salazar is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salazar, of course. La Place Salazar, Castries, Rosalie, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
REV-UP St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Castries, St. Lucia. Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at REV-UPSLU.com. Call the studio at 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.